Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children that they're keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, I just want to go into this quick lesson. Touching on Sirach chapter 26. Which I'm going to read it. But first, I'm going to use this article as an example to explain it and go into it, which this says YSL attorney Kayla Bumpkins and defendant Shannon Jackson, who met and fell in love for each other during last year's YSL RICO trial, have announced they're expecting a baby, fans calling it a true Atlanta love story. So the people support it. The people support this. Obviously, like it said, fans are supporting it. And I know this picture is pretty blurry. A couple of them are actually blurry, but that one is actually clear. It says they're expecting their baby in October 2025. The day is not set yet. But this is, recent news. And it's another reason why, us men that's in this truth, starting with our elders and apostles, they, and the brothers, then pass down even to us younger men. Like, we're not, we focus on Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, and we wait for the Lord to send us, as it pertains to a woman, He'll send us who needs to be in our lives, because obviously, which I'm gonna get to the scriptures first. Let's see. This is Sirach chapter. I'm reading. I'm gonna kind of go back and forth. This is Sirach 26, starting at verse 23. Now I'm gonna read 19 on down in the GNT, but I'm gonna read 23 in the KJV. It says, "A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord." And if we go back to this picture, you can definitely see she's all into him. She's 100% into him. And here it is. You are here because and the reason why I'm going into this lesson, because you have Eve making all these videos, women in general, but especially Eve making all these videos saying that the black woman is the most educated, they have the highest graduation rates, so on and so forth. But then look at the type of men that you go after. Look at the type of men that you desire to be the father of your children. You're not seeking just, your average Jake, your average 9-to-5 man that's trying to, build and make a life for himself. And you're damn sure not seeking the men of the Lord. But again, the brothers, the scriptures even tell us about this. But going back to the scripture, everything is already set up in the spirit anyway. The Lord set everything up from the beginning, as it said. And this lets you know the people that you meet, in your life, and for men and women, the men or women that you deal with, women for men, obviously, men for women. The people that you deal with in your life, spouses, is all set up in the spirit by Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So I'm going to read it again. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. So if it's given, the Lord ordained it before it happens, And I always reference this just like the book of Tobit. The angel told Tobit that Sarah, what's her name, Sarah? I think her name was Sarah. She was destined to be with him before creation. I'm gonna just get straight to the point. I'm just trying to find out where it's at. Okay, here it is. Verse 17. This is Tobit 6 and 17. The angel was telling Tobias this. It says, and the devil shall smell it and flee, going into when he did the incense, and flee away and never come again anymore. But when thou shalt come to her, rise up both of you and pray to the Most High, which is merciful, who have had pity, who will have pity on you and save you. Fear not, for she is appointed unto thee from the beginning. Before she was even given unto him, before he knew about that he was going to marry Sarah, she was given unto him from the beginning. The Lord set it up from the very beginning, for them to be together. So even going back to Sirach 20, what was it, 23, 26 and 23, it says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth Yahweh by Shem Shah. Now, I'm going to read it in a different translation to get even more clarity on it, but I'm going to start at verse 19. So this is, as you see, Sirach 26 in the GNT. And then I have to get in the footnotes because for whatever reason, the GNT didn't have it, but they added it in footnotes. So it says, my child, stay healthy while you are young, and don't give your strength to strangers. Search the whole land for a fertile field and plant it with your own seed, trusting your own good stock. And this is not only just going into actual land, but this is also going into a woman. This is really what it's about, giving advice to a man about a woman. Searching the whole land for a fertile field or a good woman and planting with your own seed, meaning marry her and have children with her, trusting your own good stock. Then your children will survive and go up confident of their good family. See, this is what it's going into. Now it's going to tell you the difference between a godly woman and a wicked woman. It says a prostitute is like spit. A married woman who has affairs brings death to her lovers. And I've made various videos on different women who got caught cheating and the man that they was or committing adultery, and the man they was committing adultery on or with or on, committing adultery with, on the man they was with that they was committing adultery on. He would come home and either he had killed a woman. It was one situation where he killed the woman. It was one situation where he shot, another situation where the woman was shot. And it's another situation where the man was killed. Two situations where the man was killed, actually. I think, two situations where the man was killed, all in different locations. Two in Mississippi, one in Jackson, one on the coast, Pensacola, I believe. Had one in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. No, Alabama. I think it was Alabama. And I can't remember where the last one was. These was all recent, But like I said, a married woman who has affairs brings death to her lovers. And it doesn't matter if this society considers a woman married by America's standards. If you're with a man and y'all are sleeping together, y'all having sex, you and that man are together. Sex is marriage. But continuing on, it says in this verse 23, a lawless man will get a godless wife, as he deserves. But a man who honors Yahweh by Shem Shah will have a devout wife. So the Lord, especially for brothers, especially for younger brothers, myself included, for those who don't have a woman, the Lord everything is already ordained and set up in the spirit. And even if you do have a woman, the Lord, he gave her to you. That's the woman that's for you, for the time being until the time comes for it to multiply, or the Lord will have something for you in the long run, But as of right now, we continually see the type of men that Eve chased after, that they desire, that they want, And there is a reason why the whole term Pookies and Ray Rays even came up, which I'm gonna look that up. Like I said, look at how she's looking at him. She's fully engulfed into him. And let me look at matter of fact, I'm gonna ask Chat GPT, see what it say. how do I want to say it? I'm curious to know what it says. It says the terms Pookie and Ray Rays are often used in online discussions, particularly in certain corners of the black manosphere, social media, or relation discourse, to stereotype and describe a specific kind of man, usually in a negative light. Pookie and Ray Ray are slang names used to characterize a particular archetype of man, typically from a lower social economic background, often involved in street culture or in illegal activity, hustling, drug dealing, seen as irresponsible, unambitious, or unreliable, often depicted as having multiple children by different women. Now, that's nothing wrong with that. Still paradoxically, still paradoxically described as attractive to certain women, especially younger women. These names are not literal, but symbolic, used to point to a pattern of behavior or lifestyle. So even Chat GPT is gonna keep it real. It's letting you know these are the type of women, these are the type of men that Eve go after. These are the men that Eve desire. They don't desire a righteous man or a man that's at least trying to do right according to this society. Like I said, and men that's of the Lord, they for the most part, they're not looking your way. If you're not of this world, they're not looking your way. But this is all going back to, how how Esau set everything up. Like Eve said in the beginning. This was Eve's exact words. Genesis 3:13. And the Lord said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. You can get that in different translations. The CSB. So the Lord asked the woman, what have you done? And the woman said, the serpent deceived me, and I ate. NIV, well, it said the same thing. NET. So the God said to the woman, what is this you have done? And the woman replied, the serpent tricked me, and I ate. Right. Beguiled and deceived and tricked. So it's the same thing. Esau has programmed our women to think that that's the type of man that they should desire. That's why he pushed all the gang, the street, the drug culture, street culture, especially in the black community, and associating that with masculinity. He tricked our women and men too, but primarily our women, into thinking that street culture and gang culture was masculine, and a man who has standards, who's trying to do right according to the society and lead a household as an actual man, is toxic, controlling, or boring. This is what he's done, It says, I'm going to keep going. It says, in dating discourse, some men use the terms to criticize women, especially black women, for allegedly choosing Pookies and Ray Rays over good men. An example, men who are stable, hardworking, and responsible. The idea is women overlook nice guys for bad boys. And this is exactly true. But the scriptures tell you about that. A wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that fear of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. So I'm going to get it again. Sirach 26 and 23 in the GNT. A lawless man will get a godless wife as he deserves, but a man who honors the Lord will have a devout wife. Now it says in social critique, it's sometimes used to highlight cycles of dysfunction, fatherlessness, or toxic masculinity with certain communities. So it's letting you know, look, this is really what toxic masculinity looks like. But our women see it as attractive. They follow the same cycles. Now, important caveats. It's a stereotype. Not all men who come from poverty or street backgrounds are Pookies or Ray Rays, which is true, And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that every single man that's involved in that, because even you have the elect that comes from all different walks of life, that was involved in that lifestyle that come out of that lifestyle, you know? And not all of them were particularly doing the same things, but they might have been in that environment. It says often classist or misogynistic. The term is sometimes used to shame both men and women and can oversimplify complex social issues like poverty, systematic racism, and trauma. Which that's why I got the scripture in Genesis chapter 3, because the issues like poverty, systematic racism, and trauma, all of these come from Esau Edom. Esau Edom set this situation up, and he put these type of that lifestyle as the light, as masculinity. He did that. So when I read it in Genesis 3, like it said, the serpent beguiled Eve. She's been tricked. She's been deceived into thinking that was right. So it's not me just putting all the blame on the woman. The serpent is or Esau Edom is the one who set it all up. You know? It says it's largely a derogatory label, though some people have started using it ironically or in memes. Now counterpart terms, and it's funny. It says in the same circles, there are also female counterparts like Keisha, Shaniqua, used similarly and also often problematically. Would you like to explore how the term evolved, or no? We ain't got to go. But Keisha is definitely what the brothers in the world started calling these so-called black women too, you know? But like the scriptures say, a lawless man will get a godless woman. So the Pookies and the Ray Rays get the Keishas and the Shaniquas as he deserves. But a man who honors the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Abashah, will have a devout wife. And that's what we're patiently waiting on. That's why brothers, men go to the other nations and deal with the women of the other nations, because they're more feminine and more in order. And they desire to be with the Israelite man, because now it's our time to rule the earth. It's our time to be on top. And that's men of the so-called black, Hispanic, Latinos, and Native American race. And a lot of those women, they be in these other countries too. There's in these, other nations. A lot of them are Israelites. Not every single last one of them are of the heathen nations. A lot of them are Israelites, and they desire Israelite men. But they're Israelite foreigners. They look like the other nations, but their spirit bear witness with our spirit. They come from the lineage of Jacob. I guess I'll just finish it out. Verse 24, a shameless wife enjoys making a disgrace of herself, but a modest wife will act modestly even alone with her husband. So it's just going into the comparison of a godly woman, which is a gift from Yahweh Ba'ashim Abashah, versus the modern day woman. The modern day woman versus the modest woman. Now, verse 25, it says, a self-willed woman is a bitch, but a woman who, with a sense of decency, honors the Lord. And this is in the Bible. Just like it called a female dog, that's the same thing. That's what it's going into. A wife who honors her husband will seem wise to everyone, but if she dishonors him by her overbearing attitude, everyone will know that she is ungodly. Everybody gonna be talking about that man wife. Like, damn, that's what he got to deal with. Couldn't be me. Everybody's gonna talk about it, and it's gonna bring shame unto you for having to deal and be with a woman like that. But it also gives you wisdom and advice on how to deal with it. Now it says, fortunate is the husband of a good wife, because he will live twice as long. A loudmouth, talkative woman is like a trumpet sounding the signal for attack, and any man who has such a wife will spend his life at war. So I'm gonna get one more, and then I'm gonna close it out. Let's see. Oh, same chapter. Exactly, verse 14. This is Sirach 26 and 14. A wife who doesn't talk too much is a gift from the Lord. Such restraint is admirable beyond words, but it's going into the characteristics and traits of a godly woman. And it says she is a gift from Yahweh Bashim Abashah. Like, like women really don't understand just how peaceful that is for a man. Just that alone will bring peace to a man, make him really appreciate you. A wife who doesn't talk too much, But again, as it say, and I'm gonna read it here. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. And verse 14, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. So on that note, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing his word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping his word of sincerity and the truth. Until next time, shalom.